So welcome to Medley Meeting number 708. My name is Venkat Palle, your target terms for today. Before proceeding further, there are some ground rules that we need to follow during this meeting. Number one, please switch off your mobile phones or put them in silent mode. I'll give few seconds. Please put them in silent mode. If not. And the second rule, please do not talk about sex, politics, or religion during this meeting. Toastmasters International is a near-century organization helping its members to grow in the area of public speaking and leadership abilities. As per the mission of Toastmasters, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Without further ado, special rule of today there is something special in the meeting. Please watch yourself, around yourself, everything what is going on today. Okay, please do that. Without further ado, I would like to call the person who will take this meeting forward, who is a Toastmaster since 2009 and looking every opportunity to refine his leadership and communication abilities. Let's put hand together to welcome our presiding officer, Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkat Palle. How are you all doing? Excellent. Good afternoon, members as well as guests. With the sound of this gavel, I declare the meeting number 708 open. I welcome the dignitaries who have joined today's meeting. Founder member DTM Sampath Sourirajan, DTM Guru Prasad, DTM Thomas Abraham, former Division Director Toastmaster Kalyan. Thank you for joining. And I can see several guests who have joined today's meeting as well, and some are repeated guests as well. Can I ask the guests to come over here and introduce yourselves? Yeah, yourself, please. Malati. Yeah, please. This is your third meeting? Okay, yeah, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Malati. This is my third meeting, which I have attended to develop my communication as well my leadership skills, and hope it will be my great place to learn such things. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, and please keep visiting us often. And yourself, please.
So, hi everyone, I'm Pranav. So, I think most of you must have seen me because this is my third meeting now. So, I think post this, I'll be a member of the club, maybe starting from the next week. So, looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And looking forward for you to become a member as well here. Right. So, the next guest. I know you have become a member, so I'm just introducing the rest of the guests. Yourself, please. You both are from IIT Research Park, is it? You are from IIT Research Park? Okay, fine. Yeah. Please come and introduce yourself and what your expectation for today's meeting is.
Good afternoon. My name is Ramya, and she is my colleague, Miss Namrata. And he was telling about the expectation. Actually, we came here blank. We are here to develop our expectation here. So we want to learn what Toastmaster do. So that it will be helpful for our counterparts. So we just came here blank to learn what you did learn.
Thank you for coming. And we conduct our meetings in IIT Research Park as well. And after that, we have moved to Adayandrana here. Then any of the guests whom I might have missed? Okay, nobody else. Okay, how many of you have seen the December Toastmasters magazine? Okay, two have seen. How many of you read? Okay, okay, fine, good. Nice. So one of the important chapters in that is soft skills solve hard problems. Soft skills solve hard problems. Anybody of you want to talk about that? Just quickly. Interpersonal relationships. Exactly. Very good. Simplifying the problems. Meditation. Yeah. Yeah, that's correct. Negotiations. Right. See, all these are very important soft skills as far as any corporate is concerned. It is not only corporate, even your house also it is more needed. Whether it is negotiation skills or coming to a common ground or solving problems or simplifying problems, all are needed in your personal life as well as in professional life as well. And in Toastmasters, that is very much a learning. Do you all agree? When you give speech, what is the first thing we do? We go through the project objectives, right? Go through the manual. Every manual has got at least 20 pages. So we go through the manual to understand what are the objectives for this particular project all about. What are the project objectives as well as speech objectives. Every manual has got two things. And we write our speech based on those objectives so that we satisfy the expectation of the manual and ensure that we get brownie points from the evaluators as well as from the members as well. Right? So that is also very important. And in corporate world, when you attend an interview, what is the first question that will be asked? Tell me about yourself. Yeah. That is what our icebreaker is all about. Right? So you tell about yourself so that the entire members will know about that. So how you frame your tell me about yourself. It has got three separate things. How you structure your speech. What is the opening, body, conclusion? What are the transitions that are needed? And how you impress the interviewer. So same thing happens here as well. You come up with the note saying that this is what I'm going to talk about in the speech. Then you come up about the opening, body, conclusion, transitions, everything. Because this is very important. And I'm sure the TT Master is noticing that this might come as a TT topic also. So please listen carefully. Okay. So then what is more important? Once the icebreaker is completed, what are other things? Improve your body language, vocal variety, influencing skills, negotiation skills, persuasive skills. All these are very much important in our personal as well as professional life. And Toastmasters educate that. So please go through the manual, ensure that you give a speech. And some other people have mentioned about problem management, right? So when you go through 20 pages of document, you come up with a gist of what is there in the document and come up with the speech. That is very important. Simplifying what is needed. Time management. When you speak about a project, like on a project, 5 to 7 minutes, right? So you look at the timer who is sitting behind you to see whether you are conforming to the time standards or not. That is time management. Your R counter, grammarian, that is where you ensure that your speech is conforming to the grammatical standards that are required by Toastmasters. That is also important. And then your problem management, risk management. When you are a VPE, you will know about risk management because at the last moment, somebody can drop out. In that sense, you have to find the replacement. That is what is risk management, contingency management, as well as your mitigation plans. All these comes by experiencing in Toastmasters. So what is the moral of the story? Use Easy Speak, book your slots, ensure that all the speeches are taken care of. Okay, because we have a lot of slots that are pending for the entire month as well. Just 1 or 2 slots are full. Okay, so you can go ahead and then book your slots so that you learn all about these management concepts that are required as well as communication concepts that are required as well. Because in the same manual, what is mentioned is communication is one of the key problems, or 55% of the corporates are saying that that is a key problem in their soft skills. 55% of the corporate are saying that. That's the HR executives who are saying that. Second thing, this communication is one of the soft skills that is required. So that's why I mentioned like soft skills are the much needed things that are required for us to go ahead. Having said that, what is next? To proceed with the meeting, what is needed? TMOD is needed so that that person can ensure that the meeting starts and ends on time and then go ahead with the agenda. Because the agenda is already distributed, you have to ensure that all the timings are going on as per the agenda. So that is where like the time management, problem management, risk management, everything will come into picture. So please ensure that whatever rules is available, ensure that you take up those. And for today's meeting, the TMOD is a special person. This person is a retired scientist. When I talk about scientists, the only thing I remember is more of Isaac Newton. Sorry, Isaac Newton. What did he mention? He mentioned so many things. But what I'm thinking of is, I can look further in my life because I was traveling in the shoulders of giants. I'm sure there are a lot of things that we can learn from this DTM Sampath Saurajan during this meeting. And you might have read about Sidney Sheldon, right? Sidney Sheldon novels and all. How many of you read? Okay. One of the things is Master of the Game. Right? How many of you have read Master of the Game? Yeah, because I'm forgetting my script. Right. Because this Master of the Game, if he were alive, then what he would have done? He would have written another book called as Master of the Word Game. The hero of that would be definitely DTM Sampath Saurajan because word game is something that comes out of his mind. Okay, please put your hands to welcome DTM Sampath Saurajan for taking.
Good afternoon, friends. Let me start this meeting with a very pleasant thing. So I request all the executive committee members of the last 2 terms to come here. Toastmaster Ranga, Shankar, Prasanna-Vani, Venkateseshan, Dinakaran, who else is there? Last 2 terms, not present is coming.
I think the present is coming.
Last time you were not there? Okay, no. Read only the first paragraph. Right.
Yeah. On behalf of the Toastmasters International Board of Directors, sincerest congratulations are extended to your club for achieving the President's Distinguished Club designation for the 2021-2022 program year. One more good news, we have already achieved 9 points for this term as well. So that means like we are already in President's Distinguished. Yeah, definitely. 2022-23 will also be coming. That means 15th straight year we will be getting this award. That is our.
Are all new members aware of what this is? What this ribbon is about? Please go and find out. I'm not going to spend my time. Good afternoon, friends. Today, we have got a parliamentary session and we have got a theme which goes along with Toastmastering experience. The theme is member experience. Why I chose this? Member experience is now part of club mission. This President Distinguished comes from DCP. It is not in club mission. It is a tool for us to use. Similarly, different awards, Golden Gavel Award, club awards, they are all not there as part of this. You know why? This is the most fundamental thing, member experience. Members come and join a club, the clubs make the hierarchy and goes up to the Toastmaster International. We follow what is called the inverted pyramid model. You must be knowing that. Inverted pyramid model. The topmost is the members, then the club ExCom, then the area, division, district. Toastmaster International President is the bottommost. Why? Because we follow the servant leadership model. We serve the members from all the levels of the hierarchy. So the members' experience is the most fundamental thing. How it will reflect, very simple. If a member is not getting good enough experience, after some time you won't see him. See him or they will not training. But there is a borderline case. They are not getting the best experience, but they keep continuing without happening. So what is members' experience? What is the experience? You come here for learning, right? It's not a restaurant, we come here for eating masala dosa. We come here for learning, right? So the experience has to concern with the learning. This is the central theme of all the people who are coming here. Nobody comes here to play billiards or do some other games or have fun. No. Fun with learning is okay. Fun by itself is not okay. We are not a gymkhana. So famously, Ralph C. Medley says, you learn best when you have fun, when you enjoy. But that enjoyment is when you learn. He is not talking about enjoyment of the other types which we have. So within the gamut of the soft skills, the speeches, the communication aspects, the leadership aspects, we will find a lot of humor. We will find a lot of fun. We will have a lot of things to do. So that is an important aspect of this. This is a topic some people may think wrongly, not many people. Like a business transaction. I gave the money, the fellow gave me a shirt. I gave the money, I got this one pen, something. I have paid my dues. It is for the Toastmasters International to give me the soft skills, leadership skills, the member experience, everything in a platter. It doesn't work like that. It is a case of taking the horse to the pond. The horse has to drink the water. You cannot make it drink the water. So the system has got every provision to make you learn best. But actually, who is doing that learning? You yourself. So you are the fundamental part of your membership experience. Don't think somebody else is going to hand over everything. Now, we will have a little more about this. I will not talk too much theorizing. I will give a lot of highlight like points. It is for you to go back and ponder about them and profit from it. You can discuss with colleagues, you can discuss with your mentor to understand better some of the things I'm going to tell. So now let us proceed with the meeting itself. So as you know, every meeting in Toastmasters has got 3-4 aspects. The education aspect has got 3 components. One is called the prepared speech. The second one is called the unprepared or the table topic speech section. The third one is the evaluation section. The evaluation is a fundamental thing which goes throughout the meeting. Even if after the general evaluator finishes and then the president concludes the meeting, you go for coffee, you will hear some evaluation. Somebody will come and tell the president, oh, you forgot to mention that. Evaluation is there from the first second to the last second. It's the most important thing in Toastmasters. So today there is going to be somebody who will overall govern this evaluation exercise during the meeting. That person is Toastmaster Priya. Toastmaster Priya is very well known because of the quality of her speeches and because she has been quite successful on the contest. So what she says about introducing her, she has not given me any points. So I'm going to introduce her now. Toastmaster Priya, make one sentence about Toastmaster Priya. Your opinion or your idea. That is part of the introduction. Very good. Thank you. Any other one person, Venkatesan, tell one line about Toastmaster, please. Huh? It's a very dangerous word. Huh? Smart is a dangerous word. Whichever way you want to take it. Now, about the theme of the day, I asked some questions about the expectation. The single most important expectation was to be myself on the stage. She wants to be on the stage. And she has done it handsomely till now. She has been on the stage, even contest stage, winning beyond club level also. Whenever she comes and does an evaluation or delivers a speech, we know the quality. And to be a listener, this is another thing she has mentioned. When Toastmasters come unprepared and say it is okay, this attitude is a bit disappointing. It's a very good point, because if we come unprepared, we are making adjustments and doing, we will condone it, we will accept it, we will go along with that. But we are not going to appreciate it, because everybody has to prepare and come for everyone. Today I have prepared a lot for this meeting, not a lot, jotted down a lot, rearranged them, and finally made some script and I came. Everybody has to do it. TMOD is not a joke, it's a very serious affair. Now, a person who got to see and hear different emotions during this journey about the Toastmasters invitation. Okay, please join me in inviting a couple of Toastmasters here.
Good afternoon to all the fellow Toastmasters and guests. It is said, we learn great things by little experience. Every day we get a chance to learn and experience. Do you know how and when is that? When we meet new people, when we go to new place, that's when you experience something new. 5,000 years back, there was something given to us and it talked all about life. Do you know what it is? Yes, someone said that. It's Bhagavad Gita, and today we are celebrating Gita Jayanti. So 5,000 years back, it was told that teacher is one who gives information and master is one who is concerned about the truth. Now coming back to the meeting, we have few masters who take care of the quality of this meeting. One set is called as tag, the other set is called as evaluator. Why we call them masters? Because they're truly concerned with our growth and development. They see if you are really, if you're right on track, if your language and your structuring and your work is correct, and also if you are following the norms. So it's now time for me to introduce my first team, whom we call as tag, timer, accounter, and remedial. Timer is played by Toastmaster Anuradha. I had a question to my team. I asked them, what is that new learning you experienced? She said one word, micro pause. Have you come across this micro pause? I had to ask her, what is this? She said, micro pause is, to put it in right words, few seconds of silence, that is mental preparation before reacting to any situation or person. And the best part was, she said she learned it in this Toastmasters platform, and the credit goes to DTM Thomas sir, and he is the one who has seeded this term and word to Toastmaster Anuradha. I request Anuradha to please lay out the objectives of a time.
Time waits for no one. In most professional situations like an interview or presentation, we are requested to communicate our message in a short but effective manner. Time management is the finest quality that helps an individual to prioritize actions that we will learn in our Toastmaster Club. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a timer, my responsibility is to monitor time of each meeting segment and each speaker, and to remind all the speakers how much time they spent on their speech, so that we will run this meeting on time. To help me to do this, I have three color cue cards with me. I will raise the green card when the speaker hits the qualified time. I will raise the yellow card when the speaker reaches the target time. I will raise the red card when the speaker reaches the allotted time. The prepared speakers, Toastmaster Prasanna and Toastmaster Hemant, please note that your time allotted for you is 5 to 7 minutes. So at the end of 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. At the end of 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. At the end of 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. And grace time of 30 seconds are allowed for you. So you have to complete your talk within 7 minutes, 30 seconds to become a qualified speaker. Then coming to evaluators, the time allotted are 2 to 3 minutes. Kind attention, Toastmaster Ranga and Toastmaster Shankar. By 2 minutes, I'll raise the green card. By 2.5 minutes, I'll raise the yellow card. And at the end of 3 minutes, I'll raise the red card. And grace time of 30 seconds allowed for you. So if you complete your evaluation by 3 minutes, 30 seconds, you will be a qualified evaluator. And for impromptu speech, table talk figure speakers, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. At the end of 1 minute, I will raise the green card. At the end of 1 minute, 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. And at the end of 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. So you should talk minimum of 1 minute and maximum of 2 minutes, 30 seconds to become the qualified speaker. Thank you. Over to Jilly.
Toastmaster Rajesh Sahu, when I had the same question, he said he wanted to get rid of this self-critic nature he has within himself. Whenever he came to stage, he felt he was not at all a good speaker. But only after his speech, he used to get feedback from his mentor and the audience, and that changed his whole idea. Now he wants to make best use of this platform, and he wants to come again and again. Let us give a great round of applause and warmly welcome our graduate staff.
Thank you, Priya. Hello, everyone. As an accountant, as per the name suggests, my role is to listen to every speaker carefully and note down all the unnecessary sounds and words. Unnecessary sounds like etc. and unnecessary words which we use. I mean, so, but, like, etc. Also, we use some repetitive words. This means I note down all this, and at the end of the meeting, when called by the GE, I'll come and deliver my report. One more suggestion is, as I feel, we used to think in our local language and then translate it to English. That is where we used to utter these unnecessary sounds. So let's improve our vocabulary by learning new words so that we can improve on our speech and fluency. Thank you.
Friends, what comes to your mind when I say one who has championed the contest chair rule? Fluency is very new to Toastmasters, but if you're already won this title who has mastered the contest chair rule. He has taken all the leadership roles at a very initial stage of her journey. All the contest says when she is the role of Indian level, it was very tough for us. It was challenging to get response from other club members with all the good players, and it was a very new learning. Now, what she's trying to do is take this experience, and whenever she gets a chance or a call from any outside club, she's here to say, I'm ready for any role. So let's welcome our Canadian program, and she's here to lead us off.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Hello, Toastmasters, guests, and my dear friends. A very good evening to one and all. The grammar makes listening and reading easier for others to understand, and it also makes the communication enjoyable. So as a grammarian of today's meeting, I will be keenly listening to every speaker, note down the good usage of grammar, note down the outstanding use of words, quotes, or sayings, and I will also note down any wrong usage of grammar, and I will give constructive feedback and suggestions to improve that. And it is said that to improve our vocabulary, it is always suggested to use one new word every day in our conversation. So as a grammarian, it is my duty to introduce a new word, the word of the day. The word of the day is decisive. D-E-C-I-S-I-V-E. Decisive is an adjective and it is used for something that is important for the final result of a situation. Example, in a sentence, the presiding officer cast the decisive vote to break the deadlock. Decisive can also be used for the ability to decide quickly and confidently. Example, the government acted decisively on the COVID pandemic. I would like to share with you an interesting thing that whenever I take up the grammarian role, I generally take the big Oxford dictionary and look for the word of the day, during which I also land up in learning some more new words. And when I wrote this word decisive, I initially thought that it should be pronounced as decisive. But today morning, when I just randomly checked the Google for pronunciation, it said that the correct pronunciation is decisive, both in British and in American dictionary. So I would like to be the first person to use the word of the day. Joining Toastmasters is a decisive step taken by me to improve my communication. And I encourage all the members to liberally use the word decisive during your speech. I will be giving my grammarian report whenever I'm called upon towards the end of the meeting. Over to the general manager.
So call them masters before the speech. That's the reason. I'll be back again with my second set of team in the day house. Over to you.
Thank you, the interrogator. Next, we will be going for the prepared speech. Before that, a few more highlights on the theme of the day. The first point in getting best member experience is attendance. If you don't attend all of the meetings, you are a big loser. Particularly when another person prepares and speaks, you are listening and learning. He is toiling hard and you are easily learning. Why should you miss this opportunity? So attendance is more important. Almost all of us can improve. In fact, last 6 months or more, because of ill health, I'm not very good in participation, but otherwise I used to be very high in attendance. So all of you can improve in attendance, except probably TTM Thomas, because he is already almost the 100% level. So he cannot improve beyond this. So make it a point hereafter. Usually the distraction here is, I have some family job, I have some office job and other thing. I don't buy this argument. You know why? Before joining, you knew your other commitments. Before joining, you knew whether you are free in the Saturday afternoons. Then only you made up your mind and then you are paying the money. Get the money's worth. Attendance is number one. Number two is attention. So once you come here, 100% attention. Don't miss one moment of the meeting. Completely be attentive and drink in the whole meeting. That is the best learning, because you don't know, you will miss something very interesting if you just look this way, that way, or if you start handling, seeing WhatsApp in your mobile or something, you will miss that. So attention is the second most important. Then, third thing, which most people miss, particularly nowadays compared to 10 years before, is people used to take notes. Just one word to it. For example, if somebody mentions something, they say, okay, I have to learn more about this. They will note just that word and they go back, they can refer and find out. People can do evaluation Today, Shankar is an evaluator, Prasannavani is an evaluator. What stops other people being an evaluator? Once a speaker speaks, you be an evaluator in the mind or jot down a few points. And then when the actual evaluator does, you may compare notes. That way you are continually improving your evaluation skills. You can do TT. For example, there is a habit when the table topic master names a person, all other persons switch off. Most of them switch off. Don't do that. Before that man start thinking, how will I start this? You start mentally doing that. So these are all great opportunities of enhancing member experience during the meeting. Of course, when you are a speaker, we'll come to that later. Now we are going to have two speeches as prepared speeches today. The two speeches are by Toastmaster Prasannavani and Toastmaster Hemant. So the first speaker, Toastmaster Prasannavani's speech evaluator is Toastmaster Shankar. Can you please read the objectives?
Thank you, good afternoon, everyone. Toastmaster Prasanavani is attending from Dynamic Leadership Level 2 Project 3. The project name is Introduction to Toastmaster Mentoring. The objective of the speech is for the member to clearly define how Toastmaster envision mentoring. Very all the best. Toastmaster Prasanavani.
Thank you. Toastmaster Prasannavani has answered my questions. About her introduction, she says she doesn't know what to tell. Generally, I used to request people to give some new points. Even after being together 1 year or 2 years in Toastmasters, we can come up with some relatively unknown fact about yourself that makes the things more interesting. But she said she could not think of that. But I am going to use my usual technique. Toastmaster Dinakaran, can you make one sentence about Toastmaster Prasannavani?
He's a very team player. He's very good.
Very good. Very good. We will talk more about interpersonal and then leadership type of aspect. So who else can make a Sarunan? Can you tell one sentence about Prasannavani? You are saying something else, so I got it. Very good. Thank you. See, now they put more weight on you. So you have to live up to all those good words. Now the title of the speech is D&D. Frequent travelers, B&B. What is this D&D? I am wondering. Please come here and enlighten us about your speech title.
Toastmaster of the day. How many of you remember the Medley meeting when I gave my icebreaker speech? I'm glad not many do, because that spectacular speech of mine is best forgotten. But what I will never forget is what DTM Sampath sir said on that meeting day. In his presiding officer's address, DTM Sampath sir said, all mentees disturb your mentors often. That is how you learn. Listening to that, I was thinking, I'm sure Sampath sir hasn't spoken to my mentor recently. Had he would have said, all mentees, please do not disturb your mentors this often. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters, and yes. In my career, I had reached a plateau phase where I felt that my subject knowledge and technical skills were not enough. I realized the need to equip myself with communication and leadership. So I joined Toastmasters with the goal of becoming an effective communicator and a capable leader. I was soon allotted a mentor, Toastmaster Kalyan. I promptly connected with my mentor and came to know that he's from a business and marketing background, completely alien from my field. I wanted to be an effective communicator to ace my academic presentations. How could someone with his expertise in business be able to understand my needs? I wondered. How mistaken I was, I soon realized. The first lesson I learned was to speak up. To speak out my thoughts and to take up every role at every possible opportunity so that I get to speak more and make the most out of my time at Toastmasters. For every role I did for the first time, be the time mark counter or the TT master, I always connected with my mentor. The resources at Toastmasters International were detailed enough, but to me, they were like do-it-yourself puzzles, all jumbled up. But the discussions with my mentor helped me put things in order and gave me like going through how to assemble manual. I understood the importance of the role in my daily life, and through the knowledge that was shared from my mentor's own experience, I applied it to the best of my capabilities. All my prepared speeches underwent at least 3 rounds of revisions, and through those feedback, I understood the strengths and weaknesses in my speech and improved accordingly. It is said that the art of communication is a language of leadership. Having learned the basics of art lessons, it was now time for me to start my language lessons. In the month of March, somebody asked me, Prasanna, would you take up any XCOM role? I said, no. I said the same to my mentor also. But my mentor never tried to convince me against it. Rather, he used a different strategy. He often kept sharing his own experiences in the various XCOM roles and other leadership positions, and how those learnings helped him in his career and gave him the confidence in his various pursuits. He constantly put me in this fear of missing out zone, and I felt myself thinking, I should also give it a try. And when I did decide to accept those roles, my mentor detailed the various responsibilities it involved, time commitments expected of me, making me fully aware of my own family and job responsibilities too. These discussions helped me be decisive at these situations. I understood that leadership is not something we learn from manuals. One has to do it to learn it. Of all the benefits of Toastmasters, I would rank mentoring at the top. Mentors have the wisdom from their past experience, a vision for the future of the mentee, understand mentees' needs without being judgmental, provide unconditional support, and take an active part in the mentee's progress. Despite the differences in the life experiences, mentors choose to focus on the similarities and provide feedback in a constructive and congenial manner. When a mentor shows confidence in the mentee's abilities, the mentee's own self-confidence spirals up. When a mentor shows the path to take and what is at stake, the mentee is emboldened to undertake the journey. When a mentor demonstrates approachability, willingness to help, and a quest for perfection, those same values are instilled in a mentee. Dear friends, we all enter Toastmasters as seeds sown in the soil of a club. Mentors are the gardeners who water us with their wisdom, deweed our shortcomings, provide a scaffold for our growth, and continue to watch over as the plant begins to take root. In my quest towards becoming an effective communicator and a capable leader, Toastmasters mentoring has had a substantial impact. I say so because mentors inspire their proteges to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more. As mentees, how do we ensure that? By disturbing them more. With respect to Toastmasters mentoring, D&D stands for not for do not disturb, but it stands for do not stop disturbing. And the most explicit part of Toastmasters is that it is not a one-to-one relationship where a mentee can disturb only the mentor. The mentee can disturb anybody in the club. In my own growth, Every single Medleyan has been my mentor in some way or the other. Be it through the tag reports, be it through the evaluations, be it through those wonderfully executive speeches, or be it in my experience with the ExCom members. It has been a learning from every member. And many of the beautiful learnings have happened over the tea and snacks, and all those informal feedbacks have given me valuable inputs to improve myself. A big salute to all the mentors present here. Thank you. Over to Toastmaster.
Well done and thank you, speaker number 1. Speaker number 2 is Toastmaster Hemant. The evaluator for this speech is Toastmaster Ranga. Please come here, Toastmaster Ranga, and read the brief.
Toastmaster Hemant will be presenting the speech of Presentation Mastery Level 1 Project 3. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice vocal variety or body language to enhance his speech. The project is vocal variety in body language. Best wishes.
Toastmaster Hemant, he has answered the questions. The single most important expectation is to reduce my weight to 80 kg. I'm waiting for that. I really don't know how it relates to Toastmaster. Maybe you want to come here and see that vada or bhaji, not touch it. I don't know, really. There is so much things to learn from such a good community. It provides less critiques. Learning of how to write a good story is not a piece of cake. About introducing himself, he is also not. Everybody seems to be very humble and polite, not talking about themselves. Just as Hemant, come here. I'm going to make you introduce yourself. Which is your native?
My native place is actually Bulandshahr, UP.
What languages do you?
Only to English and Hindi. Somewhat Japanese also.
Oh, it's good. So till now, how many months you have been here? 3 months, 4 months?
3-4 months.
So what do you feel? You want to be in Toastmaster for 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years, 10 years? What is your plan?
Up to your age.
My age is not much.
Let me tell you a secret actually. Today, my story begins and ends in my bathroom only. So, are you all excited to listen that story? Okay. Good evening, Toastmaster and dear guest. I was bathing in my bathroom and suddenly there is a hand tap on my shoulder. I saw a backward. Who is he? I saw a genie actually. A genie over there. And I was totally terrified because of it. He was speaking in gold. I asked him, like, how you are? Like, how you came inside? He said, I am dreaming because you run to start on his back. That's why I came inside. We liberated from this tower, which you have taken so long. Thank you for liberating me outside. Oh, but why you are only in gold? Where is your clothes? We live naturally, but we have gold because we are rich. After that, he granted me 2 wishes. I was like, why only 2 wishes? At least all genies give 3 wishes. Why just 2 for me? He said, it's my choice. It's my wish. Okay, then give me 2 wishes. I will think of it. After that, first wish I want is like love of my life, Akansha. I want to marry her. Then genie asked me,
Hey, what you are doing? Currently, I am just bathing. I am not talking about bathing. I am talking about what you are doing professionally in your life. Oh, professionally. I am just a mechanical engineer. But I am trying to get a job. I am still unemployed, man. You are still unemployed. Okay. So, do you think your parents love each other? Actually, they love them, but they usually fight them. Most of the time, they only fight. Oh, they fight. So, you know what holds them together? No, I don't know. The only thing which holds them together is a father's job. He has so much money that the relationship is not going to break up so easily. Oh, that's the thing. Yeah. And first, you get yourself a job. After that, think about a girl. Why you are so much in a girl? Love is what creates a relationship. But money is what makes the relationship or sustains the relationship. Yeah, you are right. I think. But you will think of like all girls actually run behind money. So what's the point? But it's not that they run behind money. What money gives actually is personality, self-reliance, decisiveness, and self-pride. So when you run behind the money, you will learn all these things. And all girl or any girl want that qualities in someone. So do you have these qualities after mechanical engineering? Actually, don't read this mechanical engineering thing. We can learn. I am coming to Toastmaster. I will learn these things. Okay, you will learn it. And after that, we will talk about marriage. You know, your parents take so much responsibility. You are not here to take so much responsibilities. Having so much responsibilities, like first you have to be responsible for your partner, for whom you want to love, and after that, that partner will give you another gift. Whose responsibility also you have to take? Can you uphold these responsibilities? I said, no, actually, whatever you say, I can't uphold these responsibilities. Okay, now you are making some sense. But genies are like, they just run away. They are like, they don't stop you. They don't stop myself. After that, uh, you know, Hemant, what is uncertainty in life? The uncertainty is that you cannot become that person. You cannot improve your personality and live your life in a way in which you should. But what is certain that someday you will marry. If you are desire for marrying, then someday you will marry. So it's not a point about marriage only, okay? But in the meantime, I can't marry someone else, then what I will do? Oh, you are still worried about her. So learn first thing. The foundation of love is not a marriage. It's not based on good looks, good way of speaking, and love. The foundation of love is based on good jobs. First thing is this good job, settled family, good nature, and also decisiveness. After that, the lesson one I learned from the genie, from my wish first, is that foundation of love determines the strength of your love. So, genie, at least in second wish, give me palace, money, and a lot of content for me. Okay, you close your eyes, and I will give you all of these things. Okay, that's easy thing. I close my eyes. Oh, genie, is starting building all of these things. And I was getting rich. I have a lot of gold in myself. My all rings are hand is with all rings. Suddenly I am saying that okay, things are building. After some time, I see a thunder came inside my dream, and all of things are vanishing. I just open my eyes, and I saw that everything was gone. But there was a loud voice
The loud voice was, do you wish to spend your whole life in bathroom? My mom said this to me. I said, I wish I would spend whole life in this bathroom, but I cannot. If you get things easily, and then you lose things easily. That's the second lesson of my life. That don't be on just wishes. If I build that palace, money and gold on my hard work, I will earn everything. Thank you, Toastmaster. Okay.
After listening to this, I have to say, Hare, kya baat hai. Now, we had a few ideas about that. I'm going to tell some things now, which some of you may not be aware or familiar. Sometime back, there was a very popular triad in Toastmasters, very frequently used. Better listening, better thinking, better speaking. Even at the bottom of the agenda, they used to print this. Everywhere it is very popular. It's very important concept. Better thinking is sometimes lacking. I found some people asking my mentor or another friend, can you suggest one topic for this project or something like that? And then once they get a topic, they got an urge to go to Google. They don't sit and think. So you can generate a lot of ideas without anybody else's help. That will be the originality. So do better thinking when you want to be a speaker. Then, as our first speaker said, disturb your mentor and others to improve your speaking skills. It is not for getting the basic ideas, but to improve your speaking skills. And once you do that, you are going to prepare and give a speech. It's okay. Speech making, I'm not going in detail because a lot of the time, a lot of people will talk about it. But I will give you another important idea, which many times people do not formally think of, even if they think of it at all. That is, you can create your own mini projects for your improvement, your learning. For example, if somebody is quite bad in grammar, some grammarians point it out, the mentors point it out. Why don't you make a project? The next 6 months, every week, I will spend 2 hours studying some aspects of grammar. Slowly keep on improving. Similarly, you can do it for vocabulary. You can do it for analyzing speech styles and speech formats. For example, today, 2 speeches are there. Think about it. How was it started? How the development body came and then how was it concluded? For different speeches, you keep on studying this, you will get a lot of ideas. You can make your speeches in a much better way. Similarly, speaking styles of types of speeches like humorous, entertaining, different types of speeches. You can think about all these things and make your own project. And then you can, a lot of people do this one, I'm going to tell, collect quotes and anecdotes. A lot of people, they do it. So it's also very useful. So now we had some very decisive ideas about mentoring and very decisive plans about marriage. Now we are going to enter a very undecisive zone. The table topic is going to be a problem area. Yes. Yeah, okay. For the ballot, timer, can you please specify the names of the qualified speakers? Just the name. Both are qualified. You can choose the best speaker in your opinion and keep it ready or even mark it in the sheet of paper. So the next we are coming to the table topic session. I will not tell about table topic session, but I have to introduce the table topic master. Okay. The table topic master, let me introduce. I equal to definite integral 0 to infinity 4a y squared by 2 minus. I think there's something wrong. They are not on the same page. I think I have to go to the back page. This is what he has written. So expectation, interested in stage time and limelight. I got a lot of it. Of course, if nobody gave him, he worked hard to get that. He moved up in the contest and other thing. The most nothing could be achieved without collaboration. Then my disappointment is pathways. He is not very happy. A lot of people are there. He is not alone in that. Any one more point you can tell? See, take your Toastmaster experience to your life. I did it and I achieved a lot. Probably he's got more peace at home after becoming a Toastmaster. But the catch is his wife is also a Toastmaster. Please come here, DTM Guru Prasad to conduct yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I'm sorry I am starting my session at a time when I'm supposed to be finishing my session. Apologies, seriously, we have consumed 500 minutes of extra time collectively, which is equal to 8.33 hours of your valuable time collectively. Unfortunately, not provided. Let's make sure in future we don't get into this. Someone during last meeting, we discussed something about something happened. Come and talk about what was decided in the last meeting. And I know I'm going to ask this question. Somebody out of the blue came here, they called him, asked a question, and he was ready with an answer. So the guest here, this is called table topics. By the way, table topics is a totally different word of Toastmasters International. You are not supposed to use this word anywhere else if you are conducting an impromptu or something. You are not supposed to use the word table topic. It has been licensed and copyrighted by Toastmasters. I am your table topic master, in font called as TTM. Toastmasters is famous for acronyms. You might be wondering, who is this gentleman coming and calling himself as TMOD? How many of you didn't understand what is TMOD? You all understood? Great. He's called Toastmaster of that day. TMOD. That's why we have a lot of acronyms over here. She's called as TE. I want your TTM to engage you in a T-A-T. Is that the correct way to pronounce it? With Toastmasters. I am going to take all my 40 minutes that I requested for. I'm sorry if it is getting stretched. You have to bear with me, but I'm sure I'll make it interesting. I have already kindled your curiosity a lot in the past 5 days. And one disclaimer, my humorous speech is over last week. Today it's all serious business. Well, for the practicing Toastmasters and the newbies, guests who are coming here to see what is happening out here. Let me tell you. You already a couple of Toastmasters coming here with a couple of speeches. These are prepared speeches. They plan, they prepared, practice, discussed with the mentor using D&D or whatever it is, delivered the speech. Do you do this in everyday life? Do you go about writing to speak? No. 50% of your life is table topics. Do you agree with me? Anywhere, things hit you hard in the name of table topics. You have to be prepared for the unprepared moment. And that is why one of the largest communication leadership organizations in the world, the largest in communication, leadership and communication organization in the world, Toastmasters, considered that impromptu speaking is an essential skill for growing leaders. We have seen, I repeat, I don't want to quote the names, great leaders, executives, failing in press conferences, whereas performing well. So the image, the message they want to convey, everything got lost because they were not able to answer that question at that moment. That is why we are here conducting this session called Table Topics every week, and we graciously allow guests also to come and participate. Traditionally, on a lighter note, people used to introduce the TT Master as a villain of the day. They say it is the funniest moment, and they say all sort of things on a lighter note. But this is your life moment. It's a workshop. Here, inviting one after one by some random choice of names in the register that you have filled up. I'll be throwing you something. It could be a topic, it could be a question, it could be a challenge. You have to deliver within 1 to 2 minutes. I am gracious enough to allow you 15 seconds if needed to think, and timer after 15 seconds you start your watch. Even if that gentleman or lady is thinking after 15 minutes, that will be counted. I'm not threatening you, by the way. I also give you a tip on managing this. First thing, you share the topic. Most of them are given time thing. So you know the topic, there are words in the topic. The easiest way to avoid wastage of time is immediately start with saying, dear table topic master, dear friends, dear president, dear Toastmaster members, dear DTM Sampath, dear DTM Tom, something like that. You take 5-10 seconds. In that time, second half of your brain still start thinking about the topic. This is a technique we follow many times. Use these salutations for thinking about the topic. DTM Master said something you have decisions made by Socrates before his death. You don't know who is Socrates. You don't know who is Socrates, or at least use his name. I don't know who Socrates is. This is my speech. Then you talk about taking decisions. You're covered. I'm not saying you're given an absolute speech out of the topic, but you're moving one step forward in handling those kind of surprise moments. Do you agree with me? That is one of the secret things. I'm going to give you not secret, but improve your common sense. I'm not saying you are not improving it. It's all about living in the current moment. You should be aware, at least in your zone, in your comfort zone, your profession, at home, at society, whatever role you are playing, you should be aware of whatever is happening around. You don't care if I ask you, why did instead of getting profited those 2 rooms lost to make it to the next level and FIFA? You don't want to put the football star. Those are the ask for fun and table topic session. Take this lesson into your life. That's why I had mentioned as my suggestion is take Toastmasters into your life. So I'll be giving you topics. You will be coming here. You will shake hands with me. You will listen to my explanation. I'll give you a topic, announce your name, and leave the stage to you. Do something till timer shows the green card. Don't leave the stage abruptly. You may not even understand. If you do understand, let's not worry yourself. And this is the funny story. Someone asked to read about example I'm going to give it. It's not hard. I'm going to do it. When you use the this is the teacher and a new teacher here. And he got to write about coconut tree. What's not full? He had only full page about cow. And said this cow will be tied to the coconut. This is the story, friends. I think you need enough tips. There is several grounds. I am setting up here in development. For the first time in the history of Toastmasters International, I'm going to have a second chance. Only one person at the end of tabletop discussion, I'll pick up the lot and choose one person. That person can again come here. That will be after balance. Come here, either attempt one of the topics given to, because many times you feel, hey, that topic was really good here. They will talk better. I had so many things to tell, I forgot it. Come back and repeat a table topic session. For that, you need to remember your speaker number. I'm not going to note down. I'll be selecting the speaker number alone. And you need to remember your topic after all. Because you'll be listening to so many topics. You decide whether you want to give another second round of the same speech that you gave or somebody else's easy topic. Are you ready for the game? These are the table topics. In the meantime, there's also this challenge. And the table topic, you need not be decisive at all. You can just come and deliver it. Why are we doing all this? So after every topic is over, I will take 40 seconds. You please know why did I give that kind of topic? I will be giving you funny topics, serious topics, topics that you don't understand at all, controversial topics. be ready for this challenge. Now, to begin with, my trick is to invite an experienced Toastmaster over here and give have a topic so that you all understand the format of their topic. I will always select between Solomon and DTM Thomas. Whom do you want me to go? Thomas, raise your hands. DTM Thomas, everyone. Your topic is end of the caterpillar is the beginning of a butterfly. End of the caterpillar is the beginning of a butterfly. DTM Thomas, end of the caterpillar is the beginning of the butterfly. End of the caterpillar is the beginning of the butterfly. Thank you very much.
Did you see the butterfly flying as always in suit as a Toastmaster should be? If you think he's shining because it's his inherent strength, no. I was watching the caterpillar at work from the beginning. Did you notice something? As Sergeant Arms was here, suddenly DTM Guru came running. I thought he was trying to say that there's some car blocking the main road or something. And for the first time, the Surgeon at Arms had to restart. Did you notice that? He did it twice. That's why there's high energy. And then throughout I was watching, so ATM Guru was there like a cat over a hot tin roof. He was restless. He was writing, he was noting, then he wanted to make a way because I thought a cat like him needs more space. So he made space here. All this, where's the timer? Okay. All this I was watching, and then he came and said something to the president. This is something getting planned. And since I was sitting last, and we were not in talking terms for a while, last week, I was worried that something must be happening. And sure enough, it looked so natural, raise hand, so democratic, and I got. But then the point is, this is how the butterfly gets its wings by planning things like a child, like a captain, that ugly part of the earlier life, which comes into full play. And here it is that he managed to get the better of me. I don't think I talk much sense, but then going by his inspirational words in DT, don't take things serious, especially don't take yourself serious. Then you are dead. Therefore, I think I've said enough nonsense to last up to green, yellow. Good enough, sir? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I was talking about taking table topics to life, and I'm calling and giving some poetic quote. What is this all about? Only two people are scared and they're ready to drop out. No, I have slots for you. I don't want you to leave now. I have 2 slots for you. Could you please stay for another 15 minutes and leave? Because we have special slots for guests as well. We'll be inviting you for table topics. No, if you have a personal emergency, you may leave. Thank you very much. So this is an example of a typical table topic session or a contest happening in Toastmasters. In contest, mostly these kind of multiple quotes will be given that someone has seen and will be asked to deliver. End of the caterpillar is the beginning of the butterfly. You can take small advantages out of it. Now I think some tips for managing itself for the manage things. Now I'm going to invite another Toastmaster Renu to the stage, please. So you listen to Toastmasters Prasanna speech, and he talks about mentor. Who is your mentor?
My mentor is Priyadarshini Garu.
Okay. He's going to talk about mentor and how to make use of mentor. So please tell us about your mentor. My mentor based on personality observations, my mentor based on personality observations.
Thank you, David Topics Master. Now, Prasanna Vani was talking about her mentor, Kalyan, and her interactions with him and the way she was completely inspired to take up roles. Well, I have a lot of interactions with my mentor, Priyadarshini Garu.
And yes, I do disturb her quite a bit. I do send her messages, I call her and I tell her, this is what I'm going to talk about. And she gives me some tips and that's how I go forward. And then recently I was thinking of taking up an ex-com role. And can you hear me? A little louder. Recently, I was thinking of taking up an ex-com role and I asked her, what should I do? And she said, go ahead and do it. It's a good thing for you to do. So I have taken up the role with a lot of butterflies in my stomach, maybe because DTM Thomas Abraham mentioned butterflies. There are butterflies fluttering inside. And I think now I will take Prasanna Vani's advice by saying do not disturb, do not stop disturbing. So I think my mentor, Priyadarshini Balu, is going to be hearing a lot more from me than before. I used to take things very calm and I used to prepare my speeches and wait the last minute I would send it to her. But I think now she can be prepared for me to call her non-stop and ask her for advice. So this is what I learned from Toastmaster Prasanna Vani's speech, that it's very good to do not stop disturbing. So that is the lesson I learned. Thank you very much.
This happens when you are a senior executive or a person actively in a meeting and somebody has given a speech and you will be asked to explain certain things that was told by the other person in the call. Or people may ask your opinion, what did he say? Or you will be the subsequent speaker. You may have to pick up points from the previous speech, maybe elaborate or do something about it. Next, I would like to invite guest Pranit. How are you doing? I'm doing well. Yes, topics are less. Just look around. What is one thing that you like in this hall?
Okay.
The
balloons.
Sorry,
The balloons.
the balloons. You have a balloon now. And you have an introduction speech about yourself.
Okay.
Me and a balloon. Me and a balloon.
Hello everyone. Hello Toastmasters and guests. So as a balloon, like when we see, it was like once in a time in a year when a birthday was there. A kid of 2 years, like be the guests, people. The most charming thing was the cake and other were the balloons. And if you see, there was a big certain balloon and that one, which was just pasted below a fan, and we will be having the thermocol balls in it. And even if I was about to die, when a child used to like pop it with an incense stick, it was a mesmerizing moment because that balloon used to give joy to people, and it was like it was someone's birthday. So I think a balloon, maybe it may be short-lived, even if you feel near it. After some time, the air is going to go off. But that certain moment is what which gives a life to people, gives joy. And I think a balloon is the one which creates a childish and I think a good moment for people to live, to understand how things are. Now there are various colors in balloons, but my special is the violet one. It remembers me of how a blueberry is. A blueberry, it's very soft, it's loving, and how people resemble to it. So over there it is, it's a balloon. I think it was a different story which came out. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Has this happened to you in time? Yes. I'm delivering a presentation to my client. And, I was using something called as a Jabra speaker. I don't know how many of you know about it. We use it for that was there because some audience were present present remotely and some of them physically present. Suddenly one guy came up and said, "No, this thing looks very curious. Can you tell me what this is?" My whole meeting, because that person is second to the senior most person in the organization, I had to stop everything and suddenly stop my thinking process on the agenda of the meeting. I had a serious business discussion. I had to spend some time suddenly think about the Jabra. That person is, with all respect, is about to retire in a year. He is not interested in getting into much of these technologies. So I take some time. Because of it, I win my confidence over him. And he was like, "Guru, that person's a technology savvy guy, man." So these opportunities do happen in your life. Let me call How long you have been Toastmasters? Yes. Please talk about against Toastmasters. We'll be talking against Toastmasters.
Very difficult answer. If you say something against Toastmasters International, reason being, I will not be Toastmasters. When I don't believe in something, I'll be definitely not doing being here for 8 years actually. So I'm not a brand ambassador for Toastmaster. Here I am standing here who have got much more benefit out of Toastmaster. I would say what I would have lost if I have not been a Toastmaster. What I would have not got if I have not been a Toastmaster. People who know in this room definitely know what a pathetic speaker I used to be. At least now I'm just speaking in front of people and everything. This I would have lost. Things would have gone against in my life if I have not been a Toastmaster. And my leadership ability or any other skills which I've excelled in my career and other field in my life would have gone against my life if I've not been a Toastmaster. Speaking against Toastmaster is definitely a very difficult thing. What do you think about Toastmasters? That's what, see, honestly speaking, I am not seeing anything negative on that. It's not because I don't want to speak anything, but if I'm speaking bad, I'm first critic. I would have definitely said what is not right here. Probably, I'm not getting anything wrong. Sorry.
I know he started with the right statement saying it's very difficult. Yes, it is very difficult. I'm sharing my life experience in these kind of Toastmaster events. I cannot name anything. I was asked to, in a particular meeting, I was asked to lead the meeting in such a way that one person decides to quit the organization. We wanted him out, but we wanted that person to make the decision to quit the organization because he was doing something that was not correct in the organization, but we did not want to blame him or raise an argument or a fight. I said, I can never do it because on the other side, he's contributing very well. Maybe his personal attitude is wrong. But I was forced by somebody above me to run that meeting in such a way. If I don't do it, unfortunately, my job is at stake. You would have come across one or two such situations in life where you will be forced to do something you don't want to do. Either you can be perfect, take a stand and say, I don't care who you are, I will not do it. Or sometimes we call it as a diplomatic way of handling things. This happens in life, whether you like it or not. Some of you must be seething with anger. What this guy is doing in a Toastmasters meeting, calling a senior Toastmaster to come here and talk about something against Toastmasters. But this is an example I'm throwing at you, how life throws stones at your life. That's the purpose of doing this. It's very simple for you, sir. Don't worry. You will watching something happening so far.
Yes, sir.
Take 1.5 minutes to tell us about what are you feeling about whatever is happening from the moment you entered this hall. You were experienced in those meetings so far.
Sir, 2 weeks back, I have come here to observe this one, but I couldn't able to see any chair inside. So last week I missed this opportunity. So today I have come and I want to observe what is Toastmaster, what is happening here. But it is so interesting. So actually I want to come to here to improve my communication skill in English. So I hope I can improve my communication skill if I journey along with you people. Thank you, sir, for doing this.
This scenario sounds familiar, right? A new movie is released. People are coming over. The month of that morning, my I should come out of the movie. But this guy says actually he's Bruce at Maran and talks for 15 minutes about a 3.5 hours movie. This might also happen to you, will be abruptly asked to give an opinion on this spot immediately. Next, I would like to invite Toastmaster Jagan on the stage. You have to mirror, you write two mirrors. But you know, how people are writing instead of two mirrors, there are cars. So even images, full door, they are writing hard. So I think we can compare how to those days with two mirrors of each day. Can we do a comparison between half setting of those days and two mirrors of each day? That's it.
So the thread that connects both of it is the horsepower. That's why engines are measured by horsepower, because horses were used to travel for traveling those days. Now, incidentally or coincidentally, I just finished the Ponniyin Selvan book, and all those 5 parts where horses take a predominant travel form. And the beauty there is how information also travels. It's not just how people travel, how information travels. You need someone to take a piece of paper, to go travel across lands, across rivers to deliver a message. Today we hear tutun, tutun, tutun. Even now while I'm speaking, we hear noise because messages are being delivered at that pace. It's not only how people are traveling, horses, and now back then, I was just reading that book, the entire story is just one travel. There's one person traveling from one place to another place and coming back to the same place. That's all it is, carrying a message. Now, how would it happen nowadays? How would travel, not only people, he travels on a horse. He carries a piece of paper, not a paper, but it's a leaf. Some message is written on that leaf. He's traveling across lands, across rivers. Today, we don't have to travel across rivers. There are bridges over rivers, which disrupt wildlife in another way, but we travel over bridges. There are bridges that are being built every day. So we don't have the opportunity, if I can put it that way, to get in the river, into the shallower part of the river and travel from one place to another. Are we privileged to travel, to not to have that experience by traveling vehicles? Are we privileged with?
Yes. So I suddenly lost for a moment and went back to Ponniyin Selvan days. Thank you very much for bringing that back. This again happens a lot, particularly when you are giving sales presentations or explaining some idea to a select group of people. They completely distract you and ask you no. Or particularly when you're bringing in a change, people who are reluctant or hesitant to change, they suddenly no, it was fine. I was already asked. I was at this cost. Immediately you have to think of something to convince them, because you would have prepared only about your product, your idea, your concept. You are not ready for that comparison. That throws a challenge to you. I'd like to invite guest. Sorry, I forgot your name. Malathi, please come in. The next question for you. Defeat is better than disappointment. Defeat is better than disappointment. Guess what?
Defeat is better than disappointment. Okay. Actually, in my office itself, I have attended so many meetings, which ends in disappointment. But anyhow, I will attend. Just I have to know how I am doing such a things. I think same thing I'm facing here also. And
What is the defeat process?
a defeat is like fighting something, right? Disappointment is like the part is which we not like. This is my not. The time is sad.
This is one of those meaningless topics I told you earlier. You never understood the topic. I don't believe you. I even say selected this crazy topic, nobody understands. So you just select easily the topic. Let's talk about disappointment. But what I mean here is, it is better you go do something repeated. You're not even attempting and feeling disappointed. I could have done this. Yeah, all the speakers are so mokkai. I would have done better. I never tried. That's a disappointment. At least I tried. Yeah. I got different. This is one idea. It's not the final ultimate result. One last speaker, and that is ultimately going to be a Toastmaster, not playing any role. My favorite topic speaker of every week, Toastmaster meditation. I'm not really doing every week of it. There is one challenge for me. You're going to talk about your favorite drink in the evening. Your favorite drink in the evening. In the your favorite drink in the evening was consolidation with the condition of using that.
Thank you very much for the nice topic, Master. I am a teetotal. I drink soft drink as only tea. I used to drink tea more than 4 times or 5 times in work from home condition. In office, I will drink tea for 2 times only, twice, morning and evening. Tea is better than coffee, according to me. If you drink tea, it stimulates the brain and you can do well in your project. That is why I prefer, in spite of coffee, I prefer tea only. My wife will always say that why you are drinking too much of tea. That is why you are getting the white hair at this age. You are supposed to stop the tea and you should drink coffee. But I disagree with my wife. I used to drink tea only whenever I'm doing work, or even after attending the meeting, maybe I used to take tea only. Thank you for this topic.
So this is a trick. Though I gave this to him, you go to a place, you find something very interesting in that office, or something that those employees consider as the best. They may have a logo, they may have a statue of their founder or someone. While giving a speech, you quote that particular object or whatever it is and connect to the audience, you will be immediately accepted. I mean, I gave a silly example here. You may see something that is very peculiar to that organization, or many people are so fond of that, you bring it into your topic. There's one challenge on the spot. You have to be, that's where I said common sense, curiosity, all are very important. I'm finishing my table topic session over here. But as I said, before I end up, timer, please read the qualified speakers' names. And I have only one more speech pending. That's after ballots. You may please cast your vote for the best table topic speaker you found amongst all, and this is your lucky dip. I'm going to pick one number, invite that speaker here to repeat only one speech with your permission. Speaker number 9 here, so I'm picking one more, whether only 8. The number goes to 6, which is Toastmasters. Do you want to take up a repeat? Please come out here. Are you going to take the same topic or some other topic? No, I gave you a topic on motorcycles. There were other topics given too. Did you notice other speeches and you found one of those topics you would have presented better? You forgot those topics. Disappointment.
But he has already given that talk. He has already delivered something after it. So you could give me something. That is the rule.
No, either you can repeat your own topic. You say you have some improvised stuff. You found some other topic more interesting that you missed.
Okay.
So you say this is
Yeah.
Go on.
Is an intentional pause. I may not win the best table topics, but I'm okay to stand here. I'll spend the 2 minutes, even in silence. I'm okay. This is what I told a friend of mine who said, Jagan, I'm very afraid to get into a relationship. I said, go get your heart broken. What's the big deal? Go get your heart broken instead of just waiting. Go into the field, fight for you, get stabbed in the back or wherever that you are getting stabbed in the heart, come back, heal, and then go better. So when I delivered my first speech, I wanted to pick. The title was The Blissful Five. This was my first icebreaker in Toastmasters. It was similar to The Hateful Eight, the film by Quentin Tarantino. There's a blissful five incidents from my life. My mentor said, Jagan, you should not have won the best prepared speaker that day. How could you be this frank? So that's the first time that I understood, yes, this place is for me to fail. I'll fail, I'll get defeated, I'm okay. But I wouldn't be disappointed if I don't try. I wouldn't be disappointed if I come there and I don't speak at all. I would be okay to stand here, 2 minutes of silence, not just 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their highlights, but also 2 minutes for the table topic speakers to fail. Not only table topic speakers. When I delivered my second speech, it was titled The Ace That Was Returned. The Ace That Was Returned is the story of how Brutus, Mark Antony, returned the ace that Brutus had thrown. I was just all over the place. My mentor said, Jagan, you are very pretentious on stage. So that's when I learned how can I be humble. The more I came, the more I failed here. The more I failed here, the more I was able to apply those failures outside. If I had not failed, if I was not defeated, then I would have been disappointed, which is something that I don't want. Over to you.
So with that, my 40 minutes is up. I'm bringing this session to an end. I hope none of you were defeated nor disappointed in this whole table topic session or to Toastmasters.
Next, we'll go to the evaluation session. Before that, I want to highlight one point of personal member experience, which most people don't do a good job of. This is making use of the tag words. Most of us don't make the best use of the tag words. With that, let me call the general evaluator to conduct the session.
I'm back with my second set of team. 5,000 years back, there was something given to us. It also said how one can lead a successful life. What should be a goal to achieve this successful life? It was very simple. Always stay happy, earn respect from intellectuals as well as children, and accept any critic. With any honest critic that comes to you, appreciate it. And this was told 5,000 years back. And this is one such thing what evaluators do, and that is being practiced in our every Toastmasters meeting. Our evaluators act as a critic, but they also give us the feedback as to how we can better ourselves as a speaker. It's time for me to call my first evaluator, Shankar, to evaluate Prasanna Vani. Shankar says, according to him, learning is a continuous process. And that's the reason. Just few days back, he registered for data science course from Great Learning. And hence, he's going to enrich his experiences more. I call upon Toastmaster Shankar to evaluate the seminar.
One of the famous quote which I would like to highlight here: sincere efforts surely be rewarded. I think that was a quote perfectly suitable for you, Toastmaster Prasanavani, because I was the one who has seen your first speech, and now there was a drastic information, the drastic transformation happened here. And other good part is that today the TMOD has presented with the members experience. I think the TMOD, the theme as well as your speech, it is get well aligned. Thank bravo for that, Toastmaster Prasanavani. And what are the things which I loved about today's speech, asking the questions? Because everyone which here come here, because different experience, different thoughts, you ask the information about what was your experience on the first speech. In the way you have hooked the audience and they are trial with you. Kudos for you. And initially, I was thinking that you are going to talk about your personal experience. And I see that many of the Toastmasters were talking about when it comes for mentoring sessions, what happened in the school days, college days, and the professional life. You are the only one person which I evaluated so far. You are sticking on with Toastmasters and talk about the mentor about the Toastmaster experience. Those for you. And I don't know whether your speech it's about a Kalyan or not, because your mentor is there and you are delivering the speech. It is the appreciations for you as well as Toastmaster Kalyan as well. And third and very important thing is that, as you rightly pointed out, that evaluation, it's not only about the evaluator. As a speaker, you need to go and talk with each and everyone different point of view, how they do, what was the learning, because some of the people may assist or may resist to tell about you on the stage, but over the coffee, they will talk about. I think that's the good platform where you connect with the audience. Good job. And the confidence level which I saw, that was the time, and there was a huge development which I again wanted to confirm with you. Some of the challenges are probably some of the things which you need to work. Number one is that you're talking about the mentoring, and your journey was there and I was there. I feel that that excitement that was missing in your speech. I think you could have created some kind of a facial reaction or smile, humor, whatever it is, to bring that kind of experience up. And second is that asking the questions, because you ask the questions, but you are not acknowledging the audience. It would be good if you acknowledge the audience. That would be great. And third thing is that you're talking about the Kalyan as well as your field. Kalyan is, yes, it's a marketing field, but you missed about what you are doing it. As an audience for me, I need know what's your field. On a summary, it was fantastic speech. Probably if you could work on the few of the points which are related, especially with the facial reaction part, to the great speech. Over to you, G.
Friends, imagine this. In the year 1980s, a visit to Mumbai. When you're walking, you suddenly see a teenager who spreads the newspaper on the pavement. And he has this bowl size of cement, 12 such bowl size cement. And he starts shouting to people, do rupaya, which means 2 rupees. And in no time, everything is sold out. Nobody questions from where did it come and how did it happen. This is what was a new experience for Toastmaster Rangarajan. He learned this is what you call pure enterprise. How bold, how smartly one can do a business. So it's time for me to call my next evaluator, Toastmaster Rangarajan, who is here to evaluate Toastmaster Hemant's speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priya. Good afternoon again, friends. Ginny and me. Initially, I thought Ginny was a girl. It so happened that it was a genie. And how did the story evolve? Beautifully. It was all there in his mind, and the story was centered around love, which is a splendorous feeling. Now, the thought process when Toastmaster Hemant started, he was imagining and he experienced it, and he gave us his experience by going back and forth. He was trying to use the stage well, trying to differentiate between himself and when talking to the genie. That was excellently done. So we were able to see the nuances of what he was trying to give us, and at the same time explaining in a contextual form how the story was developing. That was very well done. And his voice was perfect. It wasn't too fast, it wasn't too slow. It was at the stage where we could all understand how he was delivering the speech. And the next thing I found about there was no uncertainty. It was very clear in his mind that it was indeed the genie that was trying to give him the idea about how to proceed in his life. And he was very clear about what he needed to do when he was rudely awakened by his mom. And the story continued later also. But at this point in time, what he did was he was not able to proceed further with the voice modulation. That was definitely a point where you could improve. And the second aspect was using the stage. Well, you did use the stage, but you could have done it a little bit more effectively and with a bit of emotion if you had done that. The third point that I would like to recommend is the trying to deliver the speech excellently. If you practice a little more about these, I'm sure that forthcoming speeches will be excellent and a good start.
It's time to get the detailed report from our tag team. I will now request our timer to please read out the detailed report.
Good evening once again, Toastmasters and guests. The time taken for the prepared speech by Prasanna Vani 6 minutes 16 seconds. Toastmaster Hemant took 7 minutes 8 seconds. And evaluators Toastmaster Shankar took 3 minutes 6 seconds. Toastmaster Ranga took 2 minutes 34 seconds. So all are qualified. And coming to a table topic, DTM Thomas took 1 minute 36 seconds. Toastmaster Renu took 1 minute 32 seconds. Guest Pranit took 1 minute 15 seconds. Toastmaster Kalyan took 1 minute 20 seconds. Toastmaster Jagat, he took 1 minute 48 seconds. Toastmaster Venkateshan took exactly 1 minute. This is my report.
Request Toastmaster Rajesh Sahu, please you report on
Thank you, Priya. Yeah. So my all-counter report was like this. Sergeant at Arms, Venkatpalli, and given a clean speech. President Saravanan had a clean speech. TMOD, Sampath has one long pause while introducing the TT master. Other than that, it was a clean speech. GE Priya had a clean speech. Speaker 1, Prasanna Vani, clean speech. Speaker 2, Hemant. Here he used like a couple of times, which is an unnecessary word, or also a couple of times. And repeats once. TT Master Guru had clean speech. The speaker Thomas had used a one time. Renu had a clean speech. Pranit gave Pranit clean. Kalyan clean speech. Sanmuga well. So a couple of times. Jagan had a clean speech. Guest Malati had used and once long pause. She was new, so she was a bit scared. She told that. Okay. Venkat session had clean speech. Evaluation session. Shankar has used and multiple times. While he speaks, he was not using the full stop well. I mean, you are joining two sentences with and. Instead, to give a full stop and then start. Ranga had a clean speech. Thank you.
I now request Toastmaster Pravdan to please give her a name.
Good evening once again. So today, many of them use the word of the day, decisive. Starting from our first speaker, Prasnavani and DTM Guru used once, and Hemant and DTM Sampath sir used it twice. Today, the entire session was full of phrases and thoughts and sayings started by our president, who started as soft skills solves hard problems, and it was continued by our TMOD, who said, you have best when you learn with fun, better listening, better thinking, and better speaking. First speaker, Prasannavani, she used art of communication is the language of leadership, and she used the phrase quest for perception, seeds sowed in the garden of club. Do not, and she used the acronym DND for do non-stop disturbing. And there were a few phrases from our TT topics. End of the caterpillar is the beginning of the butterfly, and defeat is better than disappointment. I have a beautiful quote from Bhagavad Gita by our general evaluator. Teacher is the one who gives the information, and master is the one who is concerned about the truth. And a few more phrases from Genie. Love creates a relationship and money sustains the relationship, and foundation of life depends upon determination of life. I also noticed few outstanding words used by Prasannavani: plateau phase, scaffold growth, substantial impact, explicit, informal feedback. Hemant used conduct gain. DTM Guru used copyright word as copyright as the table topic as the copyright word, and hit you hard, life moment, table topic for life, salutation, analogy, life throw stone. And Renu used butterflies in the stomach. Praneeth used mesmerizing moment. When Sampath sir used inverted pyramidal model and servant leadership model. Priya used pure expertise, and I learned two new words. Congenial manner used by Toastmaster Prasannavani. It means forming a sequence in which a same action or event is replaced frequently. And one from Toastmaster Jagan, pretentious. It means attempting to improve by affecting greater importance or moments than is actually possessed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters Pravda. It's time for me to give my report, generally valid report. We are known to, we have this brand that we are always on time, and as always, we started short on time. We have always watched this with our president. He will take us to any galaxy, but it always gets connected to a sweet spot. He will take and to the president who always keeps the energy very high and sits with the meeting in a very hard, Next, I will talk about the members' experience because it really matters. He said, what is that which really works in this system? One is attendance and the other one is the attention. Our speaker one said meetings should disturb their mentors, and the speaker two said he was disturbing this mechanical engineer. We had our TT master, DTM Guru Prasad, who was not this, he doesn't have an ordinary energy. He carries 440 volts of energy anytime and everywhere. And he talked us about this new formula of D and D. He demonstrated, nurtured, and directed us towards the right way of taking approach. It was brilliantly done. And he showed us and brushed our common sense during his complete 40-minute session. And his topics were very interesting. We saw the caterpillar turn into a beautiful butterfly, a quick opinion on today's meeting, and he also gave us a slide. And we talk about the plus and minuses during the food speakers, and also gave a recommendation how they can replace this manner into a right form. This is something that we can practice in the next meeting is might be when we have guests, we can ask them if they have switched off their mobile phone, because at a very right time there was this mobile which was beautifully giving a background music. And every time we get to hear a clean speech, I think it would be nice if we appreciate by giving them a big round of applause. It takes effort to put a control on our hours and back. It has taken years for every one of us to find and give a clean speech. So let us appreciate that. I don't believe that it was told that nothing is permanent. So we must do our job without waiting for any result. So I think I have given my report and that it's time for me to hand over the speech to all of them.
Thank you, G. We can vote for the tag role player. And the evaluators both are qualified, I think. When you can evaluate also you can choose your best. Huh? Yeah, timer, Toastmaster, Anuradha, right? And then who was accountant Toastmaster Rajesh Sahu, and the grammarian Toastmaster Pravda. Next, we have the parliamentary session, which is given a lot of importance these days, and we want everybody to understand the system. So we are asked to frequently conduct the training. So today our trainer is Toastmaster Kalyan, well known to everybody. He needs no introduction, so to say. But I will say this, in the middle years of Medley, let us say from 2013, 14 till 17, 18, he was one of the pillars of Medley, like Guru was, and there were some other people. He was one of the pillars of Medley, contributing in every way. And he went on to become the area director and division director. So what has impressed me most was his total involvement and commitment in whatever he takes up to do. And to cap it all, he's a good friend of mine, Toastmaster Kalyan.
Can we also have the role player that staff so that we can go?
Yes, we can. I mean, the role player is
That's good.
Not explain. The project, I think now I'm not acquainted, right? It's good. Okay. This is what precisely I want to start. As people who travel regularly have this feeling, right? Wherever you go, the hotels, they change the bed linen on a daily basis, fresh towels. But when you come home, there is no place like home. People who can identify with me, or regular travelers, yeah, right. So that's what happens here. Assuming this would have been in any other club or in a district event or anything, I would have got super tense. Because here I am, because they come and the speaker came without preparation, everything was there. Now you can comfortably handle because it's your own home. You can just comfortably settle down, understand. We are not being judged here. Because we all know we're standing here. Here, I'm also come to learn. Here, it's not an education session. I need to come here to preach. Here, I've come here to test something, improve my skills. This happens, this comfort, where we get that comfort is only a place here. Most important, every time I come onto Medley stage, my heart will be full with gratitude because, which I repeated in my, which I told in my TT itself, this particular stage had brought me where I am today and who I am today, both in my business, personal, and Toastmasters journey. Having said that, XCOM and our president gave me one particular topic, which is going to be very dry topic. So I really don't know how this session is going to go. A heads up here. Let's get on to the meeting. We'll start ABC Toastmasters Club business meeting. Prasanna, can you read the minutes of the previous meeting? I think we mailed it. Do we need to read it again? We mailed it, but nobody reads your MOM mails. Anyway. No, okay, he reads. Okay, better you can read. Whatever. No, that's okay. Better you can read. Better you can read. No, hold on. Okay. Better you can read. No, we can read. Okay, you can go on. No, we have sent an MOM. You guys did not read. We sent an MOM. No, we sent an MOM. The MOM was up. MOM of the previous meeting. What do we do? Okay, then we will just pass the read. We'll mail it again. Let them read again. We'll take it next week. Thank you very much. Thank you. We will mail the MOM next week. You can send and then come. We'll discuss. Is there anything else we need to discuss in the business meeting? Because I don't have an. Yes, please. So we can give your agenda. The percent of this and all cannot be taken as a motion. Can you take this as a point of customer? Any other thing we need to discuss? Is there anything else? Yes, Renu. I think this agenda problem will not come in. So this agenda, the late will not happen, no? If we change it to 10, 5 o'clock, it will not become 5 o'clock. What others say? Changing the time. Yeah, I was also seeing. Okay. Now, let's all just look at it. Yes. For benefit of the people who are not a part of this team, these people are all training for it. They are all very decorum maintaining those masters. They don't believe this is a regular meeting. Thank you very much for getting on the list. This is a meeting which goes this way. Nothing will do. Nothing will do. Nothing business. Nothing on business. Most important, apart from proceeding a meeting, getting into each and everything, putting his voice. So what happened was, a rule was formed by a set of prominent people how to conduct a meeting. We call in Toastmasters, we have something which is called as a parliamentary procedure. Then what went wrong in this meeting? Yeah, I will look to talk about a few key observations. Thank you. Thank you. Each and every member was not given a proper position. Anybody can start any topic and the meeting went without an agenda. Typically, what happens in a meeting is normally meeting goes with an agenda and it goes with a proper motion, and if the motion is being passed, we just get on to the details. Because why a parliamentary procedure is required, why a meeting has to be conducted in a formal way. It is a very basic thing to rest time of each and everybody sitting here and then have a basic decorum. That's the idea of a meeting which normally runs it. Before getting in parliamentary procedures, let me clarify two things very different. One is let's understand Toastmasters is an organization. We all know we are all part of this club. The hierarchy goes this way. The hierarchy goes this way. We have a world headquarters. In the world headquarters, we have region. The chart will be meeting. Obviously, most of us will know this, but let's restrict our memory on this. World headquarters, and then there will be regions. Under regions, there will be district. In the district, there will be a set of district officers. Can anyone sitting in this room give me names of 3 district officers? Any 3 district officers? Individual name. Role and now role and the name. Role and the name. Okay, one. Okay, who is your parliamentarian? Who's in the PR manager? It does something go this way. There are some things which goes right. International will say. You have a district governor, public relation officer. Anybody?
Yeah, that's Divya.
Divya. So we see what happens. Typically, the structure what we follow in the Toastmasters International is in the district is how is your club? The president is your district director, your VPE is your program director, your VPM is your club growth director. It maps that way. It's a structured organization. So let's not understand, let's not confuse with the structure of an organization and the structure of a meeting. Here, this particular session, we are going to discuss only how a business meeting has to be conducted, not what happens in a meeting, what is other things, what is structure and other things. When I was mentioning about this parliamentary procedure, when we research back, what happens is that throughout the world, most of the Commonwealth countries and other countries follow a parliamentary procedure mentioned by one particular person called Westminster. My understanding is, my inference is probably this being a Toastmaster being an American organization, they'll be using one particular book, which is called as Robert Rules of Order. Just not to have been a serious note and a very lighter note, who do you think this Robert will be? Just guess. Okay, this person was a military commander. So let's understand rules will always come from there and then we take it on. He formed this particular set of rules, but almost most of associations and all the other people, they started using this Robert Rules of Order. This Westminster rule is mostly used only by Commonwealth countries because there the culture has changed and the parliamentary process has changed. In India, we have our constitution and everything. Let me again clarify. Parliamentary procedure we are discussing has got nothing to do with a club addendum or a club culture or a constitution and other things. These are all two different set of documents. Parliamentary procedure is only related to how to business meeting, we have something, these things are called. We have all these things, right? So here, this is a simple 6-page document which we have, which speaks about the club constitution. This is made by Toastmasters in addendum. In addition to that, in Medley, we have, which includes plus bylaws, we have, these are all the governing documents to run a club. This is nothing to do with parliamentary procedure. We cannot confuse what things this way. An addendum, governing documents, bylaws are very different. Club parliamentary procedure or meeting parliamentary procedure are very different. So for an example, a parliamentary procedure can come into a regular meeting also. As Mr. Thomas mentioned today, time can be taken. Somebody will be speaking, a PM will be speaking, somebody will be prompting from the group to speak to him, or giving him an input or to correct something. These are all the things which kills the decorum of the meeting. So a parliamentary procedure, we are going to relate it only with reference to how we conduct a meeting, how we do the meeting, and what we do with the meeting. Usually, our meeting, we have a strong agenda. Let it be a member meeting, any Medley meeting or any Toastmaster meeting, we have an agenda, we stick to the agenda and then we run out the agenda. Now, what happens with the club business meeting? It's a more important thing. For an example, we decide to change the time. We decide to increase the fees, or we say, okay, let's bring in lunch or something into the thing. These things are all called as business meetings, and these are all called as business sessions in a Toastmaster meeting. Let me start with the Toastmaster meeting. We all know initially the surgeon opens the meeting, and then the president of the comes, and then he delivers a speech. And this particular speech, either he will just have a reference towards a Toastmaster or something public speaking. At that particular point of time, guest introductions was done, then TMOD, then we all know the slate. At the end, what he has got a business announcement. Whenever we ask the secretary whether any announcement to be made, for an example, next week, division conference is coming, or any other thing. Today, he may be giving back the results of what the awards which we got in the division council and other stuff. So that is the business section part of the meeting. There may be certain cases, let us say, for an example, this many number of gadgets, it's very scary. So we can go back for a simple camera. This, how do you think Surrounding and the XCOM can buy a camera? They want to buy a camera. What will they do? Budget. Then, okay, you put a budget, we will go buy camera, he will go to. Okay. See, buying the budget, ordering in Amazon, it's a 24 hours. What happens? Any club decision has to be taken. It has to anything for that matter. It has to come that is an agenda item. It has to come presented to the person. I think we'll just come on to that. And my idea is what I'm saying is any business decision. See, let me go back. Saravan need not have to come and say he needs to take an approval whether he can speak about Toastmasters magazine in this meeting. For us today, he wants to take a decision on buying a camera or changing the time. Anything which affects the common interest of all the club members, then he needs to take it. For an example, I still remember we used to the attenders earlier for 50 rupees to make the tip to 50 to 100. This motion was passed in the meeting. Not necessarily it has to be anything. For an example, retaining a member, increasing, and then we have had business meetings and inducting a member, and we had business meetings and sending out a member. So all these things, an ex-com or individual cannot take any decision. The idea is we collectively as a group is what can we take, decisions can be taken. For that is what a business meeting is needed. And how that meeting is done. Meeting is done in a very, very structured way. That's how it goes. Now, as this way goes, we can just see why business meeting is done. And this is one. Now, Gavel usage. Quiz time. How many times Saravanan pressed? No, try it twice. Okay. Basic decorum. That is Gavel usage. It's very simple, not that relevant. But I always say infinity plus 1 is infinity. But having said that, anybody can take 80 marks. For score 80 to 99 is what the challenge is. That is what perfect is all about. 99 to 100, you need to slog a lot as night sitting. With score the meeting with proper etiquette in the way. This is what it is said. Whether it is I came and then I said, okay, I just tapped and then said, okay, let's bring the meeting to order. The Gavel is not run and based on the whims and fancies of the person who's on the Gavel. If you remember, how many of you have come for installation? I do not know, but in the president oath taking, it will say a Gavel has been given as a symbol of respect. That is how it goes. So why the beauty of these structures is for anything and everything, there is a format has to be followed. Is it wrong if I tap it 4 or 5 times? No, nothing wrong. But that an elegance will be there. Assuming Guru would have come in a lungi and a t-shirt today and then conducting a workshop, and he coming on a suit today and conducting a workshop, that makes a huge difference. Why we say, okay, why we need to have a Toastmasters formal? No, I can't come in my own jean and a t-shirt. But it brings in a basic decor. We have come here for it's a professional environment we have trying to come in. Look, imagine all people sitting here, sitting in a shorts and then pajamas, how this place will look. So the same structure is what is it wrong in maintaining a gavel that way? It's wrong in using a gavel that way. But there are certain decorum that have been bought and we are just using it. So that's the reason to use a gavel, and then you don't have to by now you don't have to read my slide again. Before getting on to a core understanding, let's get on to the definitions. These are all, we all know this. We need not have to run. What is the standing instructions? We know what is main motion. The main motion has just come out. And then the presiding officer. See what happens, let me not get into the details of what is the motion, what is the types of motion and all those things. It's going to be very boring. I have a slide. This slide, I'll just put it in the group. Whoever is interested, not necessary, you can just take it. You may ask me, Kalad, why this number of business meetings? See, understand this business meeting is not only for a Toastmaster exam, not only to increase the price. You are an association secretary. How will you conduct this meeting in your association today? It helps there. You are in an office, there will be a meeting. Tomorrow, say, I was telling Prasanna the other day, she was going for a conference. Said, now you will know how difficult your role model professor will be speaking there. You will start relating the R's and M's. So when we find that out, when we also will have an improvement in our whatever we do. See, we have come Toastmasters, we have come to Toastmasters to learn from Toastmasters and implement into our life. It's not that I have an external implementation. Okay, I develop software, I come and computerize Medley Toastmasters. That would be a crappiest idea. Okay, I learn leadership here. I learn how will I implement into my life is what Toastmasters is all about. So understand these structures you have these stuff. So main motion, regular motion and all. I'll just put it in the chart as a big huge chart is there with reference to Toastmasters and non-Toastmasters. We'll just relate that. Most important thing in a meeting is quorum. What is a quorum? Minimum number. What is a number? Number record 50 plus 1. Half hour. I'm just coming to that. Active. Active. See what happens is predominantly the word goes quorum is 50 plus 1. If you have 50, 20, 21, if you have it for any pass or vote. See, let's not get into the very technical jargon of motion. Any decision has to be passed, we need a quorum. What is a quorum? 50 plus 1. Do we need to have a quorum? In any meeting, a quorum call will be taken. First, they will take a quorum call, and then we will understand what is it. Now, there may be certain exceptions. What happens? The quorum may not be present. Let's say there used to be a time Medley used to have 86 people. The membership strength of Medley will be 86. We can never have a quorum. So what we used to do, we normally take in a list of active members. The ExCom will meet and then move them to an inactive stage, pass a resolution, and then bring them back to active. There may be certain members who may not be active now, and we can just always move them for an example. Purely on the benefit of golden gaming. We can, if attendance is lacking, you can always have these 3-4 members as inactive and then tell the district in that way. So a quorum is technical jargon word goes 50 plus 1. Sometimes in case to case it changes with active and inactive members. And other definitions are very regular definitions which we all. What do you think is a must in a meeting? With reference to what is commercial exam? What is listed? And then we used to speak what say. Authority to whomever want to speak. I just said that we told certain things. We as a president officer, as Mr. Thomas mentioned, how the meeting is to be conducted, the structure of the meeting. What will be the structure is passing an agenda will bring that particular structure. Ideally, pass an agenda, call for an agenda, tell members, hey, look, this is what we're going to do. Tell them what we are all going to do. Then it makes it much more easier. This is also for an extra meeting, not necessarily. With reference to Toastmasters Club, it is for your regular meeting, our business meeting. See, 3 types of meeting is what we conduct in Toastmasters. One is going to be a regular club meeting. I think a business meeting at either at the end of the session, or there may be a necessity where you have to conduct a complete business meeting to take something very drastic change. Then your ExCom meeting. I think I believe your ExCom meeting is also getting into the same structure when agendas are maintained. Forget GG. We used to earlier the ExCom meeting agenda and the results used to be published in the club. I think we can bring in those things. We can also know what's happening. Why will be logging? Because what is happening? ExCom may be suffering on something very differently for a very long time. The member gets to know that it's easier. So form an agenda coming to it. Form an agenda and then the result. That is, you need to check the last earlier years, but when I was there was a change actually. I will just check on that and then come back. But what happens is if together, but see, that I will always say when there is transparency is what strengthens a relationship. When the club has to be, see, where relationships fail is where there is no transparency, relationship fails. Let it be any relationship for that matter. Same way, when there is transparency, it can come. Attend the meeting. What the time? What's the time? What's the time? My is okay, fine, it's fine. Okay, this is structure. Like I said, we have 2 structures. Again, when coming to parliamentary procedures, I'll just compare 2 meeting flows. Let's say what I was mentioning about your club. Let's say in an association, you run a meeting. That will be called to order. First, the meeting has to be called to order, and then a normal call to the meeting. Minutes of the previous typically, let's say you are going into your club associated meeting, and Secretary will read the report, and then the treasury report will be taken, and then any new business will be taken. Anything to be discussed about previous motion that will be passed and discussed, and then we are doing it. This is the structure of any typical business meeting. And the structure of a Toastmaster meeting, we all know we have seen the structure of a Toastmaster meeting is going to be Meeting will be done, a quorum of call will be done, and we just comment what is the motion, then we just vote in that. How to get on into the motion of the sum. As I told, these are all types of motions. It's going to be, let's not get into the details, get on to the English definition of what is what, and other things. Why these are the main thing, let's again, I just put this, how this is the most important thing, which we need to understand running a meeting. We all know we need an agenda, and the agenda has to be circulated based on the exact requirement we have time. With reference to Medley, in our bylaws, we are very clearly mentioned. For an example, if a budget proposal, you need to go such and such 2 weeks before. And if it is a meeting, if it is an urgent, it can be called to 48 hours before. Bylaws is very clear. Just in case any ExCom, current ExCom or future ExComs believe no, we need a slight modification in the bylaw, you can always bring that, propose it here, change it. Bylaws is not a handwritten rule given by 2 years before, 3 years before, it is determined. That's why we have a bylaw. You come here, we'll have a debate on it. How that particular changing the timing. This is all the data points will be made. Then the motion will be put on. Somebody will say anything on that matter. It has to be proposed by a person. It has to be seconded by a person. Then it has to be taken by a discussion. Me as a presiding officer, if I want to say something, I cannot just like that pass and pass my matter to somebody else. If I want to be an active member in that particular discussion, then I am not the authority to stand here, because what happens, suddenly people think that is the final authority, and then it passes wrong signals actually. So if I want to have a thing, I want to be a part of the particular discussion, I can just pass it on, or I can abstain from my duties and then get on to the discussion, come back here. Suppose if I want to bring in a motion, on that day I can make somebody as a presiding officer. We all know it's not necessarily a mandatory, the president has to be the presiding officer. Assuming Karan wants to bring in a motion, he need not be the presiding officer of that particular, and then he can just bring in a motion. The motion goes this way, and we will somebody will say, then it will be proposed, and then it will go to the thing. And it's not a clear voting mechanism. Is what earlier it used to be a hand raising, and now we can just put in a Google form or hand raise, whatever are very necessary. We can go in a usual way of manual way. Most important, anything which is done, which has to be connected, minuted, and then put on to the members again for the perusal of the members. That's how it goes. A small clarification here. I would recommend that some not to bring in direct motions in. For an example, Kalyan says, okay, buy a camera, I change, bring in it. Within the ExCom guide vote, within the ExCom guide vote, within the ExCom, if it is not getting passed, I would say, then bring it here. I can't it there and then bring it. First, we being a collective force of an ExCom, transit is going to be an issue. It's going to look very awkward here in a public forum. So when you discuss that, one more point is also being much more clearer. When you discuss that, there can be difference of opinion, but there will be some clarity to handle that particular motion here and to handle it that way. So this is how it is done. And this is what I said. These are all the motions which Toastmasters intellectual important. It's core technical. I'll just put these stuff into the thing. Do we have any questions?
The entire board will not.
The quorum is to run a meeting. For example, 50 meetings are present. Then if you do 30 are not voted, after you vote or 60, we can run a meeting. Preferably in the option. Not the substance we can be wrong. We don't have a document. Okay, for the first question, this term, the parliamentary distinguished Toastmaster Neena John. Neena John is the parliamentary of this Toastmaster here. That is again a slide which we made. I think, do we have from the district? From district, we don't have any document. Reference books only. We do after district. That's what. See, what happens? Let's be very clear. we have beautiful structures on how to run a district, how to run a club, how bylaws are there, amendments are there, bylaws are there. This is purely with reference to conduct a business meeting. Toastmaster meeting structure is fixed. That we can just change. See, for an example, few clubs don't have a GE at all. The team audience, the same person does. Few clubs don't have the concept of reading the tag report. And so many parents. So that is the structure which is see, most of the clubs meet only for 1 hour. This, if you take Toastmaster, any medical Toastmaster, the structure meeting time, they would have given you agenda for 1 hour. Certain clubs run for 1 hour. So that, see, this is purely with reference to maybe because of that, Toastmaster would not be having a yeah. That's what they So that structure is so probably what is structured, they're structured and non-structured sometimes. Yeah. No, what happens normally? See, what happens is, I think there is a fixed page club constitution. See what happens when it, if you see the district can come, let's say, with all due respect to the district officers, whether they can come and tell us whether we can buy a camera or not buy a camera, or they cannot, they're not allowed. So what Toastmasters does, they have done it in such a way, they will not get into the intricacies of the club things. But I'll just check what is the common practice. What we do is we will check the common practice and think. But it should not look like policing. For an example, let me speak it very frank, because as Sampath sir is there, we can so when I was a VP and Arvind was I can quote names because it's a very close thing. When Sampath sir came back from Qatar, and then we were all, I mean, I was the oldest person there, and all are around 20s. The ExCom was Arvind, Ashwin, all are 21, 24, 25. That was the ExCom strength actually. No, they said some senior Toastmaster has come. His name is DTM Sampath. He won't address the ExCom. He will agree with me. 6 months we sort of avoided that particular meeting with him because we thought he has come to evaluate us. We thought he has come to tell us. Then we went on to the meeting is when we understood he came with a lot of inputs. But I think after Arvind's term, we never gave an ExCom thing. Then in my term is what we said, okay, let's meet, because it's not that, okay, I was gracious enough, we don't have a choice. So that we just took him. But we took input. So we do not know whether it is done. Yes, sir. That is still. No, that's what I mentioned. That's what I said. See what happens. No, that's what I was mentioning. Remember how mandatory there are 2 ExCom meetings. In fact, I still remember there is a president called Sunil Jose. He used to have I used to follow that practice. As soon as the meeting is over, they will come down in the 2-wheeler parking. They'll have a 5 minutes meeting, and that practice was there with Arvind's term and my term also. We had that practice 5 minutes every meeting. 5 minutes we used to have. Okay, what went wrong, what did not happen, and every month we used to send a report to the members saying what we discussed in the next talk. That transparency can come in if you want meeting. But don't increase the load. What I don't put formats in that. That's still a pointers on what is being done. This I'll definitely check and come back. Got it. If you remember, very in between, whenever there is a time gap, we used to do. See, usually the technical point is when the secretary comes and reads a minute in the beginning. I'll take I have 5 more minutes. Over. Thank you very much. Thank you for that.
Yeah, before signing off, I just want to add one point about the member experience. Each one of you should spend 2 hours of alert and active time during the meeting. I have discussed with many people where at least 2 to 4 hours of work outside the meeting per week is required if you want to make the best of everything. So if you find those who are really having the best of experience, they will be doing this. They will be putting in that hard work outside. For example, I will just ask somebody who has the best member experience in this club in recent times. DTM Thomas, because he attends maximum, he takes keen interest in everything he observes, he contributes, he participates. So he is actually benefiting maximum. Even Guru's case, have you seen Guru doing anything half-heartedly? Full involvement. So there are people like this, that level. So all others should strive to reach that level of this one. See, for example, I will tell you something in a funny way. All of us are contributing money to create this platform, and Thomas is benefiting. What is this? So every one of us should do it. My famous statement is that, I will close with that. Grab your share and share your grab. Grab your share and share your grab. There are examples like Thomas who are doing that. They are also sharing their grab by mentoring, giving informal and formal evaluations, or doing training. All of you should come up to that level. Everybody should start giving training. Today, I was very happy with the way Kalyan conducted this meeting. It was not really dry. And I take a little credit because when Saravanan asked whom we should get from outside, I said, get Kalyan from inside to do this program. He has done a good job. Back to the implement. Back to the program.
क्या बात है? When I said master of word game, yeah, you remember that? Why I told? This is the reason. Please give a big round of applause. What a session we had. You like that? Yeah. Actually, I mean, we are crossing the time, 5:45. Normally, we ask for guest feedback. This time, I'll take the feedback as positive. Okay. Right. Fine. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Good. So now, like, I mean, let us see who the best performers for today are. The best speaker goes to Do Not Disturb. A rose is a rose is a rose. Don't read the ribbon. Okay. Right. Then the best evaluator goes to a person who thought Genie is a lady. Toastmasters funny. The best role player goes to the TT for life. DTM. The best tag player goes to outstanding Toastmaster of the quarter. Yusuf, yeah. Everybody acknowledged. Actually, this is one example. When we go above and beyond, when we think out of the box and do certain steps in area level, division level, we can be outstanding Toastmaster of the quarter. The best TT speaker goes to a person who spoke about horse and horsepower. Oh, he left. Okay, fine. I keep it with me. Okay. Actually, there are a few more awards to be given, and we have to recognize those awardees as well. So you have a lot of job, Toastmaster Anuradha. Okay. We got this from the division council, so I'm happy to present this to those awardees. Present awardee for level 1. Achieve many more levels. DTM Sampath. Toastmaster Renu Narayan. Level 2. DTM Thomas T. Abraham. Okay.
You want the banner? We are instant. Thank you.
Toastmaster Venkat Session. Toastmaster Jagan, Atishay and all got, but I'll be giving them later. And Renu, I missed one more, level 3 as well. Got. In my schools and all, we get a double promotion and all.
Yes.
And these are all for me. Okay, yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah. This is for Toastmaster Dr. Pravda Chandranath for outstanding Toastmaster. With this, we have come to the end of meeting number 708. And with the sound of this gavel, I declare meeting.